and I am excited to share with you about how you can avoid mistakes and how to properly use the X39. I'm going to go over a little bit about generally what it is and why it is critical that people consider giving this a go. If you're not feeling great, if you have low energy, if you have discomfort, if you have chronic stuff going on, this is something that I think everyone should try, and not just try for a minute. A hot minute is not going to get you the benefits that you potentially could have. I've had some people with faith that they were going to see improvements over the course of several months dramatically change their lives using this technology. And I was one of those people, right? When I first started to use it, I didn't feel a whole lot. And then I was like, wow, this really has changed the potential in my life. So let's talk. I'm going to share my screen and go ahead and talk a little bit about how we can release tension, decrease symptoms, improve energy, new ways to heal, and how you can take advantage of this. When we're talking about technology that is called the X39 patch, and I am a family doctor. I'm board certified in family medicine. I'm certified in functional medicine. And the fact is that within my time as a physician, I got sick, and that's why had to go into look into natural medicine because there were no answers in conventional medicine for how I was feeling. And if you've ever felt the way I felt betrayed by my body. I'm like, I'm doing all the things, yet still I'm not feeling good. What's up with that, right? And if you felt that way, like you're taking longer to heal as you get older, well, there is a reason for it. And now there is a technology that, if used properly, and that's what we're going to talk about, how to use it properly, you can feel better in a lot of ways. Guys, we used to be taught in medical school that your DNA was destiny. That's why they tried to figure out all of the DNA, right? Break the code. They expected that they were going to find answers, but really what they found was more questions. And they realized that it goes deeper than that. And in fact, the DNA is just the starting point. Really, our exposures, our thoughts, our actions, our choices, all these are what change our genetic expression. And so that's great news for you and I because we can change our genetic expression. Woo-hoo. And these are some functional medicine thoughts, but activity, sleep, what you eat, how well you manage your stress, all of these things create your physical reality. They also create your emotional reality. So it's important that we try and step into these sort of basic ideas about how we can really heal. And so as a functional medicine physician, I got sick. I was looking for a way to feel better. And this was important for me to open my mind to thinking outside the box, because that's really what was required for me to be able to step into trying some new things that seemed, like things I hadn't been taught in medical school. But the fact is, when I was in medical school, we really did not get that light can influence the body's chemistry. And now we deeply understand that light can affect the body's chemistry. So I think that's important for number one, for us to understand and start to get a handle on, is that there's new things that we didn't get before that might really be helpful for us now. So let's just continue. I'm going to go through these slides a little bit more. Um, we understand that our choices change epigenetics. That changes the instructions in our body. And so can exposures. And when we give the body more energy and change the instructions, we change how we feel. We change our symptoms. We change so it's how our body is working. And that's what we want, because as we age, there are different instructions being given to all the cells as a function of our aging. We don't have as many stem cells. We don't have as many resources to heal. And now we understand, as I alluded to before, that light can do a lot of things in the body, not just make us, and lift our mood, which we know sunlight can lift our mood. Sunlight used to be used as a treatment for tuberculosis. And that's because it changes our immune system. Light can do many different things especially when you begin to focus in on specific wavelengths, because we can now use light to optimize energy flow, to turn on the production of certain things in our body. And we know it affects a lot of different pathways. Some of those have been effectively worked out. Some of them are still getting worked out. But this is the patch that changed my life. When I started to wear this patch, I was barely able to exercise. I really was extremely low energy. I thought it was all downhill when I started to use this patch. And I did not have any expectations that a sticker was going to change my life. But after a little bit, I had pains that had been bothering me a long time get better, and then my energies just got better. I was able to start to exercise again. I was able to truly change the whole trajectory of my life through using this little patch. And, come to find it, it is not just me. There are lots of great stories about how X39 has changed people's lives. Just yesterday, I was talking to a client within my online practice, and we connected. I had no idea that they were using the patches, and they were like, it made so many things get better. And I couldn't believe. I was like, wow, you need to record that testimony. I can't share their testimony with you, but I could say for me, changed my life. So how's it work, right? This is the big question. How can a sticker change chemically what's happening in the body? Well, you put it on your skin, it reflects back an extremely specific wavelength. And this causes a change in the peptides that your body is making. Some people say, well, you put it on your skin, it must be a placebo response. And here we see a change in a horse after 6 months of using the Eon patch. Clearly not a placebo, a big change in the horse's coat, the horse's thermography. And when I'm not feeling good, I no longer reach for Tylenol, ibuprofen. I will always go for a patch first to see if I can use light to help my body feel better and start to regulate itself, because your body, guys, it has the instructions. So when we put that X39 on the skin, we're seeing an increase in energy, stamina, healing. We see improvement in fine lines and wrinkles because it increases a copper peptide in the skin. And this copper peptide, when increased throughout the body, can actually activate your stem cells. And when we look at pictures of people who've been using the patches, we see a big change. I love this one. This was a woman whose doc said this full arm bruise was going to take 3 to 4 weeks to get better. This is 5 days. So that's pretty incredible. And here is a scar. This person had a scar after a tummy surgery. 1 year after the surgery, wore the X39 patch for 1 week, and you see a big difference in that scar. You never know what's going to get better. This is why we suggest people take pictures of their face, the top view of their head, particularly if they have hair thinning, any scars, and also track how they're feeling from day to day in terms of energy, pain, sleep, focus, and cognition. Because you just never know what is going to be the first thing to get better. Now, we all sort of hope the pains will go away. And this is why when you're increasing the activity of stem cells in your body, which is how this works, we have to use it for a while. This is not going to be an instantaneous thing, but we see many people getting better in many ways when they're using the X39. So let's talk about correct use. So it is critical that you are hydrated. If you are not well hydrated, they will not work as well as they should. It's also important that you have adequate nutrients to make these work. If you're especially if you're vegan, you may want to be adding a branched chain amino acid supplement. Um, that could be helpful. Also adding a multivitamin that's got a little bit of copper in it, because this does increase a copper peptide in the body. So the biggest mistakes that I see when someone is starting to use the patch is, number one, expecting that they're going to feel better that day. There are some people who really do feel better as soon as they put that patch on, because something changes. I mean, when you place the patch on your body, you begin to make more of the copper peptide GHKCU, and it affects multiple systems. So some people will feel better right away, but there are others who are not going to feel better for, a month, 2 months, 3 months. I have one person who it took 5 or 6 months to really notice a change, but because we knew what was happening in the body, and the body is trying to heal whatever is a priority when you're turning on healing in the body. So the biggest mistake I see is stopping before something happens. And, there's a 3-month money-back guarantee on your first purchase. So that's something that you can utilize, get 3 months supply and make sure you give it that 3-month trial. Most people within a month are going to notice something. This is important. Stopping too early would be the biggest problem. The second one is inadequate. This causes you to make a copper peptide called GHKC. So you need glycine. I think that if you're don't have enough copper, don't have enough glycine in your diet, that could make it so you have a harder time creating the copper peptide. And if you're going to try and lay down muscle and get stronger and all that sort of thing, protein is important. So I'd say that a source of protein is critical. A source of copper, and this is something you can easily check in the blood. Copper and zinc tend to be on a teeter-totter. So if you're taking a ton of zinc, which a lot of people were during a certain period of a certain period which can't be named on YouTube, but people are taking a lot of zinc, and that can actually make your copper to go down because they use the same transporters. So usually I suggest if you're taking copper, take it with the zinc so that you're feeding both of those. They're easy to check. Your doctor can check those. The other thing I see is that people will wear it constantly instead of giving it an off time. You have to give it an off time. And if you don't give it an off time, your body will become accustomed to it and will stop responding to the signal. So having that on and off, that's why they say that you want to wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Usually I'll tell you honestly, I don't think there's a problem with wearing it more, like wearing it 16 hours on, 8 hours off. I think that's probably fine. But you want to apply a fresh patch each day. That's another thing I see people doing. And making sure you're staying hydrated. Gosh, it's just critically important. The other mistake I see is people not realizing that you actually can put it on clothing. And there's maybe, I'd say maybe 2 out of 100 people that are going to have a reaction to the adhesive. Nothing is going into the body, right? So these are non-transdermal patches. They're all light. But some people may have a little reaction to the adhesive and give up on the patch because they have a little reaction. Just know you can put it on clothing. So the two big places that we wear these are on the back of the neck and below the belly button. So you could put it on like your underpants so that it's not touching your skin if it's irritating, or on a shirt or a jacket behind your neck, because it does pass through. It's infrared light goes through clothing. And so those are the big problems that I see. The other thing is some people, when they start that X39, if you're super sensitive to energy, you might want to go a little more slowly. Okay. And if you feel a lot when you put that X39 on, that means it's going to be good for you. And a lot of those feels, sometimes if you haven't felt them before, it's like, ooh, what's going on in my body? You might be a person who wants to start it a little more slowly. And while there are single-use patches, for people who are going to start it a little more slowly, this is kind of a strategy, I would say, that you could wear it a few hours, put it in a plastic baggie in a dark place overnight, and then wear the same patch for a few hours while you're extending the time. And I wouldn't repeat it more than that. And later on, as you work up your ability to tolerate the energetics of the patch, you'll be able to use a fresh one every day. So that's definitely preferred. So you're getting the optimal use. You can't wear them day after day and be getting the same kind of benefit. So that would be another issue I see with people having problems. Yeah, so I think the next big question is, how do you get them? You can get them for the price of a cup of coffee, right? $5 a day is the retail price. $3.33. That's the wholesale price. I suggest that people be a preferred customer or a preferred plus customer so you can get the wholesale price. That's the same price that I get. Brand partners also get the wholesale price, and brand partners can earn commissions, and they're able to also get like some hefty deals when they buy in bulk. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee for retail and preferred plus customers, and there is a 30-day money-back guarantee for brand partners. And so how do you get these? You want to get back with the person who said for you to watch this video. And if you stumbled across this video and you're like, well, how can I get some from you? You can send me an email, clinic@feelgoodfunctionalmed.com. But it's so important if someone else referred you to watch this, that you talk to them because they have their own website. And people who are within my organization, I love to help them with their health. I love to help them with what patches to use. And so it's really fun to be part of Team Feel Good. And if you're wondering how can you get involved, please reach out to me. Okay, clinic@feelgoodfunctionalmed. That's my email. And I look forward to talking to you. I hope that you have a beautiful day and you have a lot of energy and no pain. All right, you guys. All right. See you soon.